everyone! Welcome back to some more Rogue Trader. When we left off, we had just finished cleaning up the fall of its horrible government to replace it with another, slightly less horrible government. Oh, and then we discovered that the navigators for House of Celia are powered by tortured souls of ancient elves. Which is definitely not a problem. Have we unlocked new... Oh, we have unlocked new stuff. Oh, thank goodness for that. I was worried we were going to, run out of stuff. Like, there just wasn't anything else. But no. There's more levels. Let's see. On Feldstone, we can light people to get some shoes. It's kind of good, though. Wonder sounds like a great way to get into a lot of trouble, but maybe. Profit factor increase. Only ammunition. Why has better reputation? Lightbringer. I thought the War Guides thing was... yeah, kind of heretical. Only prey. Plasma pistol. Blind, hit chance up, critical hit weak. That's kind of good, is what I would say via plasma pistols. Oh yeah, it's also heretical plus 20. We don't really want to do that. Damn, that pistol would have been so good though. Hospital and medkit. The nicer a person you are, the more it heals. It also removes a lot of negative effects. And removes a lot of injuries. Okay. That sounds really cool. Maybe. Crucible. Only woman. Oh, I like you. And there's Holy Defender, Sacred Comet, and Reliquary. We'll need to complete the Crucible eventually, so let's do it now. I can afford it. I thought I completed the orbital ship. No. Well, let's get that. Sure. And then we can... Oh, Lord Captain, the Crucible's great sculpting is underway. Feldstone is being transformed right before our eyes into a world with lush groves and clean water. Sweet. However, there is evidence the Crucible has also created humans. From the mouth of the relic came several thousand people who, speaking an archaic form of Low Gothic, demanded to be given orders. They cultivate land, build houses and production facilities with obedience and, in general, have a remarkable range of skills and knowledge. However, it seems that these people completely lack their own free will. After this, the monks have named them Touched. The tech breeds who served the Crucible came upon birthing vats built into the relic. This means constantly growing new Touched within them. There is a split among the faithful. Though many call it a miracle sent by the Emperor himself and want to quickly put the Touched to work, Part of the population is frightened by these soulless creatures born from the ancient machine. They demand the planet's learned men intervene in the great sculpting and find a way to stop production of the touched. How dangerous are the touched? They do not appear to pose a threat. The autopsy of several specimens has shown that they are psychologically identical to ordinary humans. No trace of corruption or xeno-influence were found either. However, their obedience is a double-edged sword. They obey any orders without knowing or caring who gives them, and thus nothing prevents a cunning intruder from bending to their will, creating an army of obedient slaves or spies at their disposal. Nothing my officers and advisors. They were begotten by the relic of St. Cognatius, which means their existence pleases the Emperor. Your people must be reminded that it is so. Arrange a public ceremony of tonsure to initiate the touched into the Order of the Hammer, and a service dedicated to reading parables about the acts of St. Cognatius and his followers.
Why don't you make their first move and assemble a mighty force on these touched ones? If they are so obedient and diligent, they will make fine troops. Assign a loyal commander to each squad to keep an eye on them, and these strange people are turned from a threat into defenders of the Imperium.
Lack of will, registering a high probability of manufacturing failure within the Crucible's sacred processes. It is recommended to dispose of the finished batches of units and hold production of new ones. The algorithm of the Great Sculpting requires further examination. Tonsure ceremony for the Order with a service dedicated to St. Cognatius. I'll draft a detailed plan of the ceremony and hand over the prelate. Under the guidance of the brothers and sisters of the Order Hammer, the touched carried on with their toils, cultivating land and building a new settlement. The public induction of the touched, along with their diligent service, eventually solidified their image in the minds of the people as the executors of St. Cognatius's will, sent to the faithful to ease their burdens during the great sculpting. Any concerns about the touch possibly posing a danger were completely dispelled. Wonderful. Actually pretty decent armor, but I don't wear heavy armor. IT's charge sounds nice. Honestly, I kind of want to do the Sacred Comet. Because I want reputation with the Drusians. And getting with the Explorators wouldn't be bad either. Where this praising the muses comes from. I want to know where it is. What else is there in Janus? Payment in organs. Oh. Secret lair. Ooh, that sounds nice. Kind of funny how one of my characters is like minus 200 Enos lore, but okay. Enos intoxicant. Death cult of the... I just see this like the hub for pirate activity. I don't want it to be a hub for pirate activity. I want it to be nice. Like, I want it to be a shelter, but I don't want to burn this place. I don't really like any of these. Let's do the secret lair, why not? What's over in Kyabagama? Make the entire place a giant battery. Arc rifle mine store. Sacred flame. Ooh. That'd actually be like really good. Sacrilege of creation. No. I am no heretic. Eyes of the Omniscient. Euphrates turns last needed. Sacred assembly site for plasma drive. That sounds pretty nice. Warp technologies. Or sky barrier. Plus 20% minimal damage is like ridiculously good. Void ship weapons and warp research. I kind of like the idea of the explorators liking me a bit more, but honestly, I don't really have any attack psychers. Idira's not really around, and I haven't used the siphon stuff on the other guy in a while, so honestly the sky barrier sounds more practical. Oh, only product stuff. Dargonus. Charter of minimal rights. Right, here we are. Plus fellowship, good. Yes, let's do that. Oh, there's defense side the premise. Kind of awkward. Praising the music. Here we are. Plus 5 willpower and plus 1 resolve to everyone. Okay. I enjoy. It's kind of interesting. I kind of want that. The date for the payment of the tithe of making use of the crop practicing. That definitely won't bite me in the bum. Sure, let's not pay our taxes. Hi Taz, welcome, welcome. Ooh. Sounds nice. Doesn't have enough plasteel, oh dear. Oh, Scolobrogenium though. Good blood. Do that. I'd love to get that. That means need to do Vivo 6 stuff, right? Yeah. Buy your children freedom. These give me plasteel. Xenos. Toxic swords tempting. What's maybe. Hold on. There were other things we wanted to do, weren't there? Yeah. No, wait, we need the plasteel. Oh. Curious to grind this anime fighting game of Bleach. They don't reply in a while. I'm kicking. Have fun with that. I don't know the first thing about Bleach, but I hope you're enjoying it. Darkness is crying out for aid, Lord Captain. Of course it is. Riots over the interpretation of scripture have broken out in several hives across the world. While hunting for the agents of the Cult of the Fun Lawn, the Ecclesiarchy clamped down on the planet's minor cults, attempting to force correct adherence to the creed upon the populace. The commoners grumble about the oppression of the minor cults, even daring to claim the holy ecclesiarchs have assumed the sole right to speak for the God Emperor. Agents report that disgruntled are actively negotiating with the Wasteland dwellers, the remains of the so-called Foreman clan, and it seems the Wastelanders are willing to offer their support. Enforcing the agents of the ecclesiarchy not curb the malcontents so far, but the division widespread. Why are the Foremen involved in this as well? A great question, Lord Captain. This group does come up with reports in the capital world rather often. I can assume this is due to the fact that in their now ruined home, Tiffany, they used to have a prevalent, more simplistic form of revering the Emperor. The preachers there used to teach the siphons the importance of hard work and the labourers' collective familial unity, but something the importance of order and hierarchy. They offered their congregation a form of faith that was simple, cheap, convenient, and functional as their work clothes. Now they seem to think that the priests, who wallow in luxury, want to take this away from them. Is there any reason to believe the service is inspired by heretics? Thankfully, no, your Lordship. The rebel rousers zealously oppose heresy, filling the ranks of the planetary guard with new recruits, regularly outperform quotas, and attend precept. The Foreman clan has been actively involved in uncovering the underground devotees of the ruinous powers and has discovered 2 large, successfully operating cells. Our agents are quite confident that the likelihood of them harbouring agents of the Cult of Fun Dawn is far lower than in other segments of the population. What do my advisors have to say?
Small deviances in the creed beget large ones, and large ones beget heresy. Our faith is founded upon absolute trust in those above us. Have these people's belief pushed them toward descent, those beliefs have been wicked from the very beginning. But that does not necessarily make the preachers themselves wicked, perhaps simply misguided. We could pass them into the ecclesiarchy's care for re-educations. Let me see the truth, which would guarantee their flock's obedience.
Celine, perhaps you should stop allowing the fat cardinals and his servants do what they want to your people. Rein them in. Faith in the Exalted One is not contained within ranks and titles, but within the hearts and hands of the common people. And even this can take many forms as well. Let those who shoulder the welfare of Dargonus at least choose in which manner they pray to him. Take the minor cults under protection. Oh. Let's protect the minor cults. They praise me. And this will surely have no problems down the line. Yeah, I forgot my... Lord Captain, it just keeps happening. I'm just sitting here like, yeah, we should do this, you have to do this. Captain, something is wrong. I just approved it. It's not even been 24 hours.
Well, Captain, there's been acts of sabotage at Kiyabagama. The cult of the Fountain was invaded the planet, cultivated up package missiles and thousands of infiltrators and set them upon us. The attack was so sudden we almost lost all the workshops, but we had help. Some entities, already called data angels, have invaded the cogital network, seized the cogitators and servitors, and used them to repel the first onslaught of the shemistals. Now, I don't know how to pronounce the word. Schismaticals. Schismaticals. Now there's a fierce struggle taking place all over the planet. News for the world is boiling. Fortunately, we received information about the impending attack at the last moment. The signal was intercepted in the wall by Cubus Delphin's machine. Oh yeah, that thing. How'd the cult disintegrate my world? It just did.
What do we know about these danger angels?
Not much.
The seal of the cult. According to the fleet's catalogue, no member mentions operations on Kiyabagama detected. No information on danger angels detected. Hypothesis. Either there has been a calculation error, or the information is locked behind a higher level of sacrament security clearance. What does everyone think?
The manufacturers of Kiyabakama are equipped with backup cogitators to ensure the continuity of production in an emergency. The severity of the situation authorizes the disruption of the service algorithms, but I am prepared to sanction a ritual that will allow the data angels of the Omnisire to absorb the cogitator's computing power to combat these wicked spirits. I wouldn't trust those uninvited allies of yours. Such magnanimity is wont to come with unsavory intentions. Learn more about these creatures. Order your servants to hunt one of them down, torture it, and gain knowledge through the process. Capable of finding pleasure in it. Pascal, sanction a ritual of bonding with the backup cogitators. The hordes of data spirits attack, exercise, and exterminate. Many changes withdrew into hiding. Wow. No! Not again! Your ladyship, a cryptic message has arrived from Kiyabakama! The fabricator sensor reports they have beheld the Eye of the Divine. What do you mean? There's only one Eye of the Divine in the entirety of the Warhammer 40,000 setting, and that's a gateway to hell. We don't want anything to do with that. I requested details from your less devout servants, and they clarified the inquest group, which had been investigating the many inexplicable events that had taken place on the planet, followed a trail of mysterious binary harmonics and came... That's a very funny word. And came upon an ancient and abandoned data complex. It is connected to the manufacturer by a myriad of communication lines and contains a gargantuan data loom. Mechanism's marking show its designation, or should say its rather menacing name, is Null Caliph. Null Caliph is immersed in sacred astronational calculation and has shown no inclination to make contact. The tech priests that connected to it were punished for the intrusion with a lethal injection of their motive. We just electrocuted those guys completely and utterly. The only thing I managed to find out was that the spirit of the data loop is not bound to the vows of compliance with restraining machine spirit such power. This astoundingly mighty anti-bounds, no wonder have known these better names. This is abandoned complex. Ancient production facility far older than the colony itself. Some assembly lines better mark the Cognitions fleet. Perhaps the first explorers who came upon the current expanse set up a station on a yet uninhabited planet. Uninhabited? But their station was then consumed by the developing industrial complex and eventually forgotten. It's possible that whatever plans they had for it were so clandestine that its greatest death ended up casting it into oblivion. The catalogue contains no data to support this hypothesis. It does, however, contain the designation Null Caliph. The Null Caliph Initiative is a project of the fabled Archmagus Opticon 107, whose function on the initial exploration of the current expanse was. All information on this project was removed from the catalogue as per the Fleet Conclave's decree following Permissibility Hearing 16. By that same decree, Archmagus Opticon 107 was stripped of his title as the Conclave's Proloctor Supremus. They really do just make up names in this setting, don't they? What the hell is a data loom? A sacred computational mechanism of great power. His body is vast, and the wisdom and metal of his machine spirit would befit an Imperial Titan. Machines of such might and splendor are kept carefully hidden from the eyes of the laity, and worshipped on certain planets as great logious oracles, sacred angels of the Omnisire, or demigods. Null Caliph's structure includes remarkable pieces of architecture, parts of it extending far through Kiyabakama like a void kraken's tentacles. We now know where the warp transmitter modified by Cupid's Dolphin came from, in part of this mechanism. The danger angels that we encountered today were born of its cognition light. Full of vigor, they saw around its computational aura, which radiated into the new sphere. Their response to our presence has been favourable thus far. Because your servants have been monitoring the execution of Procedure OC, they rather boldly believe they have gained some insight into certain patterns of its supercalculations. They claim that they could help achieve an understandable lookout for battle. Do we have any idea what they might be calculating? All we have is a hypothesis, according to which Null Caliph can see into the warp, similar to a navigator. Any interaction between technology and the warp is, as you're well aware, kept under the careful supervision of the Adeptus Mechanicus. You can imagine just how unique this mechanism is. According to the Magi, it can calculate routes through the immaterial without rest or fear of corruption, given the fact it has, human soul. Yeah, fact check that? Because I'm not necessarily sure that's ever been the case. They claim his power is comparable to that of a Novator of Navigator House. Apparently, Procedure OC was initiated by this mechanism to integrate Magi with high psychic potential in order to expand its own computational capacity. Currently, its calculations operating at full capacity are approaching completion. We assume the perfect execution of Procedure OC contributes. Have we tried communicating with it? The recalculator seems indifferent to mortals. It's expressed a lack of desire to interact with us or destroy us. The tech priest reached out to Null Caliph once more using certain excerpts from the dictates of Procedure OC. The machine's reaction was benign, it showed no resistance. What do my advisors make of this?
The great machine spirit identifies itself as Null Caliph bears potential as a valuable ally, one that could replace the need for navigators comprised of fallible flesh. We must make contact with this holy entity, or to do so is to honor the undersized tenets. That the tech priests who have had the audacity to serve Null Caliph were deprived of their motive force is a testament to the might of his data voice. I hold the knowledge to create a mediator that could interface with the fearsome machine spirit and ease the burden of its revelations on unprepared minds. If it stares into the warp, and is vulnerable to attacks in the warp. Never thought I'd even suggest something like this, but I want to make that machine obey us. We should assault it to the Immaterium. A navigator data loom? This abomination makes a mockery of every navigator house's legacy. The very fact of its existence is profoundly sickening and vile. Null Caliph must be destroyed post-haste. Allow me to send word to the other navigator houses. They will waste no time dispatching their forces to destroy this monstrosity. That's a lot of options. Pascal, create a mediator and forge an alliance with Null Caliph. Magos Pascal Hanuman imparted his secrets to the omniscient servants on Kiavgama, allowing them to assemble a mediator device that suffered Null Caliph's voice. The Magi then prayed to the mighty machine spirit, humbly asking it to make an alliance with the Rogue Trader and share its mysteries. And Null Caliph answered, halting its sacred calculation, it bestowed its favour upon the supplicant. With its tireless eyes, tireless unblinking eye observing the warp currents, many a traveller had been saved from its peril. You say I got something out of it, what? I've been getting a lot of things lately, you know. Cognia Simulacrum, EF Ultima Octodecium. Broadens plus 25 logic. Hey Pascal, don't you have like a plus 10 logic? Yeah, no, let's replace that one with this. And that's 140 logic compared to my 97. Well done. What level of dogmatic are you at? Level 2. I imagine. Alright, I could just give him plus 2 psi rating compared to plus 1 resolve per times. I think that's making him look a bit stupider though. Just these new parts. Yard on the sire doesn't give me as much crit chance, so I don't care. Mary of the Daring, a much better pulsar shield. Guns, 5 shots at 30, and 4 shots at 21. Okay. Anything else on Kiavagama? Not for now. Ganas, air built. actually see how much trading I can do, because I just bolstered my reputation with a lot of faction. And I also need to buy some plastic. Because I've been ignoring every single plasteel deposit I've been coming across because they just haven't been worth it. Boy, oh boy, do I regret that now. Ooh! I've forgotten the orbital pass of the weather has been... Let's have a look at Oxford. Yeah, sure. I'll give me all the plasteel I need and then some. Follow Progenium. Public schooling. I'm a good person. Why does it need a bunch of guns? Let's see, the Drusians don't really want anything right now. Oh, I'll give him a... something, not... Give me that shield harness. And... Explorators don't want to give me anything yet, that's fine. The breed of concentration on my sniper sounds so funny. Well, this actually sounds really good. 30% plus 1 deflection. Fascinating. It's tempting, it's tempting. The Spellica mission now want to give me a bunch of stuff, including that targeting visor, which I don't need anymore. The Warp Guide staff, which could be fun. That heavy stuff, I don't know who. Ico's breastplate. There's Casking Gauntlet. Don't move. That's pretty. Red Crystal Staff sounds wildly good, but I have no idea how I'm supposed to afford that. The Fellowship of the Void want to give me a Staff of Endless Flame, which sounds amazing. The Broad Shield sounds better than Orange Shield. 30% versus 35 and no other changes. That'd be something to consider. Imperial Navy want to give me a bunch of stuff, so let's buy it later. Inquisitor's Badge of Office, the wearer automatically passes any coercion tests. Okay, first of all, that's not what an Inquisitor's badge of office looks like. That's an Aquila. Aquila? That's the twin-headed eagle. The Inquisitor's badge of office looks like a great big eye, and the interrogator sitting next to me right now probably won't approve of me having that thing. Not that you can say anything about it, but, you know. Incredible, it's like... I mean, sure, I can feel that. There, rank 14. I give him everything and I'm still not even close. Let's see. So, from the top. Let's say it's the warm spider. Kill an enemy or scores a crit the game. The thing is, it says next turn. I kind of don't care about next turn. But 6 extra damage on the weapon you use all the time sounds amazing. Brinkwalker pendant again. Targeting visor. Ask them to crit hit if they haven't moved. Can you equip this? Oh, the choice is between the demon tool, which gives her electric attacks burning, or the vortex pendant, which means her buffs increase her willpower. Maybe. Shame that neither of my psychers have equipped this psycher's breastplate. Because I can assure you, I would definitely want that on some people. Does Headhunter like Carapace? Means he wouldn't be able to dodge things, but like he's not really dodging things anyway. Maybe I need to give him heavy armor proficiency at some point. To say. Navigate stuff. How does it go? No, I kind of like cash dating because she's not using buffs. That's the thing, right? The storm bolts compared to the heavy bolt. More damage, slightly slower rate of fire. I like heavy bolter. I really do, but losing 2 rate of fire. I know, we don't really use her anymore, so it's not big. Think of it. We don't have comparison. Right, but she doesn't have a psi rating. The other grid. Upgrade. Extremely accurate hit chance, no crit chance. Maybe the daring. That's essentially 250 points, because most attacks I assume are kinetic. Versus 190 points. I think that maybe the daring's better. Lance does. Oh, this is amazing. Hold on, what? Medium range lance battery, dealing a huge amount of damage in a wide arc, or long range from a narrow arc. I'm gonna try the wide arc. Or not. And the torpedo tubes. Plasma versus melter. I don't really know what the difference is. Cool. Hopefully that will be all for the time being. Oh, that's interesting. This will give me, like, the same amount of dodge. Apparently. Plus 10% dodge to most intelligence, 65. And 60. Lies. That should be fine, honestly. Intelligence is too low to get the benefit. Whatever. Let's actually go around doing things, huh? Let's test out this new. So my current objective. Oops. I keep saying there's something to care about here. Oh. Corruption's infiltrated V-Bus 6, Lord Captain. The cult to the final dawn have agitated the convicts into a full-blown uprising. The cultists themselves have not joined the assault. They are scurried into the mines. Crew's posted submarines mining drift reports, skirmished and went silent. Why the gods head there? We don't know. What is the current situation? The overseers are trapped, the convicts are loyal. I'd like to hear what my advisors have.
Heretics seek out those who are weak of spirit, entice them with promises of salvation. Such spineless lot lacks the result of fight with, and will drop their weapons should someone give them reason to fear. The pubs have many tactics in warfare to sow terror to enemy ranks. I know some of these tactics well. Make them clever, let better, and those weaklings will forget about all their heinous intention.
True.
Lord Captain, your resources and stats allow you to make use of one of the most blunt and affordable tools of all, mercenaries. Those dogs of war will storm the warp itself for the right price.
Ulfar, make them fear. The rebels surrendered. There was a strange dark Xeno obelisk. With patterns similar as the man convicts had drawn before. By heroically disrupting God's plan, the guards caused a malfunction. Exploding, the obelisk emitted a blistering heatwave, melting melting around ash. Insane. Woo! We did it, Patrick. You saved the city. He's been a reputation with the Drusians for their repentance. You still need to go over to FIFA 6 in person. Maybe I should. How many problems it's causing me. Alternatively, Star, Valencius, find something. The Hyrix wants me to go. Reckons. Let's actually talk to Cassia. Wow, I'm so ready to go, except, not yet. We've still got things to talk about. Good grief. This really is a visual novel. All we do is talk. Where is my beloved? Where is my beloved Cassia?
Oh, how nice of you to grace me with your presence. I was just thinking back to our journey to the Palace of the Atlas. That is, to the world of Xenos. Remembering that most reckless act has enveloped my mind in a whole palette of hues. But when I think of the great risk you took for House Orselio's and my own sake, an azure shawl instantly descends on my shoulders, and amber sparks flash inside my soul. Please accept my sincerest gratitude.
My pleasure, Cassia. Now you are the full-fledged novator of House Orselio?
You of all people should know that succession is a lengthy and tiresome process. While my entire house is busy preparing for a grand council at which I am to ceremonially inherit the late Tisiphony's title, I have decided to remain by your side, to relish just a little more of this carefree liberty. For as soon as I am summoned to do my duty, we must say our farewells.
What awaits that piece to your house now?
The Xenos have managed to free the souls of our ancestors from their confinement. The memory and wisdom of those that came before us will serve our house, helping build upon the ruins of the present a firm foundation for generations to come. I believe in that, as I believe in the divine light of the Emperor.
Ah, now the entire power of the Atlas is in Novator's hands.
I suppose so, if by power you mean priceless knowledge. As for the special powers granted by the Xenos souls, the navigators of House Orselio will once again have to contend with their own bodily and spiritual limitations. However, I am undaunted by the prospect, for our line and our gene have never been weak. House Orselio will succeed, and soon we will rise again, draped in white and gold.
Yay.
Of course, I will try to answer any questions you have. I have enjoyed.
Good company. Ah. I love her so much. Anyway, yay. Also, Celia is awesome, and we're doing good stuff. Okay. Okay. Now let's head north. Now let's get out of here. A report from the middle decks, Lord Captain. After our translation from the warp, there are reports on the Vox channels about black creatures appearing all over the place. The witness accounts claim they emerge straight from the shadows, and if your pets and your Smarazai they're interested in. Several enforcers perished in the battle, but we managed to avoid significant casualties. Your Xenos took out the aggressors. I'll not be bothering you with this if we have determined how the creatures got onto the ship. Until we know for sure, we won't be able to stop the future. They were mandrakes. They could have infiltrated the ship through the shadows. In that case, guarding decks against every shadow will not be possible. We'll check the security detail at key points in the vessel and hope the incident does not happen again. Okay. Oh, right. Wasn't this the world which had the sensor issue, but now we have better sensors? I think that was right. I need to check. There was one world, which I'm pretty sure is the water colony that froze over. Scan the planet using augmented auger components. It looks like the Pilgrim's records were true. Your augers managed to locate the shape of several imperial buildings under layers of snow and ice. And one could only guess what purpose these serve. Let's terraform it. Which will require something I'm never good at asking for. Actually, if anything, my character's exceptionally good at asking for it. Just for lunch. Bye, dog.
Terrible use of Dark-Owner's leadership. Your Vigilant Service have discovered an abscess of treachery on our planet world. Ones have grown far too large, could rupture at any moment. The first report that group known as the Foreman Clan is actually a cover for a horrendous cult of genetic aberrations. Currently of the people in every echelon of the hive. Their traits of pure humanity, traits to creed, rebels and heretics.
What exactly did my people find out?
One tenacious clerk from the administration questioning the authenticity of reports coming from the ruins of Symphony 84249. He personally observed debris removal and entered the low levels of the fallen hive. There he discovered signs that proved Symphony had been infected by the gene plague. Thousands of corpses of the extra-armed abominations have been buried in a mass grave.
Oh. Extra-armed, you said.
They also found the remains of Achilles Shalander's people. Seems they had noticed signs of corruption and the traitors, aiming to cover up their crimes, buried their misdeeds under the ruins of the hive. On the way back, the clerk's transport was destroyed, but he miraculously managed to survive. Now the heretics think they have covered their tracks once more, and so they continue their plot, oblivious and unprepared for our attack.
What is this mutant plague? The ghost of a powerful consciousness. Action psychics we get. Goodness, prepared for sucking big. Heinrich's one of those mutants.
They are called gene stealers.
Somebody grabbed the phone because I called it.
And they are not simple mutants. They are a Xenos plague that breeds inside the human brain, forever distorting their genetic makeup and enslaving them to the brood. This is much more threatening than the Drukhari fleet that ravaged the capital earlier. If they are on Dargonis, then they will try to overtake the entire planet sooner or later. The messages of the Great Devourer. My kin can sense the shapeshifters, but you should stay vigilant, Lantark. For a species as psychically weak as the monkey, their arrival may spell death. Womankind is covering for this disgusting cult? Indeed, they'll probably be by recruiting workers easy to blend in with the labouring riffraff. Posing as a union of technomats, they were able to conceal their secret operations and infiltration into the upper echelons of power. Each new crisis allowed them to gain more our trust and our resources. The most despicable is that they have perverted our faith. They revered the God Emperor in the form of a four-armed monstrosity. Their prayers are full of hatred towards those in power and promises of reckoning with their dreadful deity will come and equate with them their oppressors. Thus, that is, many fools and troublemakers fallen for their lies. Praise be, it was wise not to let them into hives on the pain of death. Scurrying through the wastelands, they could only recruit the vandals dwelling there. Very few of the cult cells managed to form inside the hives themselves. When your leadership stood up for the minor cults, they received a golden opportunity to recruit more openly in their ranks, which now brimming with fools yet to realize that partaking in heretical.
Not my finding this moment. I can't believe I fell for one of the classic blunders. What force are they out there, I suppose?
Heretics mostly composed of workers, but some have infiltrated the guard as well. The weapons are primarily made from repurposed industrial machinery. Cultists are fearless and will already sacrifice themselves for the sake of the common goal. The worst part is their psychic threat. We cannot begin to gauge it. The other tribes and the ancient vandals support them as well, partially influenced by the plague and partially led by the promise of good raid.
We have to act.
Absolutely right. It is impossible to negotiate with the Jinner. Our only option is to completely annihilate them. We should start from the top. Should we attack decisively and quickly, or should we show our hand by bringing assault vehicles in the capital and gain an advantage in firepower? We quietly eliminate their leaders, or do we rain destruction upon the infected territories and cleanse them of traitors?
Dolly, raise the people to battle and publicly proclaim war. Tell the people that the heretics are hiding among them. And the millions of loyal subjects will grind the thousands of traitors to dust. May Dargonets cleanse itself of this filth.
Let others sully their hands.
Just one beacon, and my kinsmen will descend upon the affected lives.
Perhaps they will cause some additional casualties here and there, but have no doubt none of your enemies will survive, even hiding in their little nests. The cleansing should be thorough. A good few wrecks of dead ships still linger in orbit after the days of the Xenos scum attacked your world. Command your fleet to pick them up and send them plummeting towards the nest of this spawn, trying to encroach upon your domain.
Now let's listen to the actual professional who deals with this thing all the time. Since all of them are linked by common will, we could start by launching our attack there. If the Astropathic Choir could drown out the voice of the Brood, we'd be able to launch a sudden strike and act quickly enough before the enemy could restore cohesion and lead their force to the assault. Heinrichs, prepare a plan for a psychic attack. After that, we shall launch a surprise assault on the cult's headquarters. I'll send the Inquisition directives developed specifically for this scenario to Dargonus. At the point in time, the enforcers started a simultaneous raids in all the hives of the capital. Relying on stealth and surprise, they did not use heavy weapons of war. At the same time, the Astropathic Choir launched a truly devastating attack on the grim psychic shadow hanging out above the hives of Dargonus. This attack stunned the brutes of heretics and temporarily cut off their psychic communication. But the heretics did not go down without a fight. Soon an enraged outcry of psychic energy from the brutes swept through the hives, plunging the dynasty's brave warriors into horror of bloody insanity. The Astropathic Choir managed to drown it out with their menacing chants. This was a test of wills, and only the most disciplined and steadfast psychics withstood its sheer force. The Arms of Surprise facilitated swift extermination of the cult leaders, leading the rest of the heretics to depart. The filthy shrines of the heretics were set ablaze. Only one thing filled the Rogue Trader servants on the east. Inside the cult's main temple, they found the den of some grotesquely enormous monster. It was empty. They did not find a beast. If the Emperor had been merciful to Dargonus, the monster was surely a passion of fires that engulfed the hives during the cycle. That is embarrassing. I can't believe all the signs were there. Why do so many Imperial worlds fall to Gene Seal infestation? Are they stupid? There's a bunch of cults emerging all around who slightly deviate from the Imperial truth. They're all a bunch of poor people who preach family. My god! My god! That was so obvious. That was so obvious now I'm thinking about it. A bunch of cults preaching about family. Oh my god. I'm kicking myself for that. That is so embarrassing. That is actually such a bad joke. I'm humiliated. I'm utterly humiliated. You know what they say, it's easier to trick people who think they know everything. Alright. Let's go deal with this Abelard matter. Heinrichs. God, that's so embarrassing. A bunch of workers uprising. Like, I know what the Gene Stealer cults look like. I've never played against them or anything, nor have I read their codex, but like, I have a general understanding of their aesthetic. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. I'm disgusted with myself. Anyway. Let's deal with another problem. Such a thing happening right in Rogue Trader's plan. Okay, why are there people on my front doorstep? Oh yeah, I have a space marine now. That means you have to super duper listen to me. You are confronted by the sight of dead bodies at the entrance of the palace. Yeah, no kidding. The corpses have been hauled into a pile. Some are dressed in the uniform of palace wardens, while others are arrayed in a clothing typically of the Dalgonus nobility. Upon seeing you, the young enforcer stands at attention and swallows noisily. Voice trembles and says, "Your ladyship, we are honoured by your presence." Body of the assailants are studded with many augmentics, but upon close inspection, we realise they are not merely implants. Their construction makes it clear that these were not humans, but in fact rare, high-functioning servitors.
As far as I know, House Gabrak has received such services from the Crimson Priesthood as gifts in the past, or first time seeing one myself.
What is this mess? Yes, your ladyship. Those people wanted to attack. Second Lieutenant of the Palace Guard Ellen White reported. Shortly before you arrived, we averted an assassination attempt on the Rogue Trader. Palace soldiers detected intruders and engaged them in combat. Where's the court chancellor, Clementia Vesserin? I think she's with the rest of House Vesserin. Detained in the throne room, that is. Governor Driveston was get all of the Draconis' nobility there to pronounce a guilty verdict against House Vesserin. I must take my leave.
I've read about this.
I pulled up a letter inside a pocket.
I always have a backup plan.
What are you doing carrying her?
I have a feeling that the Lord Captain's involvement in Incendia Chorda's downfall will not soon be forgotten.
If the fallen monkey's descendants come after the Elantark, the bloody cycle will continue. Life after life, generation
Who is
after generation.
Jeb, what are you
Until
doing?
one side
What did
ceases to
I do
exist.
this time, huh? This is the response of my supplicants, booing me on sight. I'll have your head on a pike. That's not the boo I was expecting. Oh, sorry. You're expecting it to be like a spooky boo, not a negative boo. Sorry. Maybe I should include that, huh? Maybe I should make it clearer. Oh well. I mean, if you want to frighten me, certainly playing a Senpai out of the blue in general is going to do that, but... Maybe I should include jump scare. Oh no. I've kind of already got one jump scare, but it's in the bits payment thing, because I don't want to be like jump scared when I'm trying to focus or something. I just want the buttons to be a cute thing. Okay. Let me hear up. Pointing with Chancellor Clementia Vesserin. My apologies, Lord, but you cannot go any further. Governor Driveston's order. Ridiculous, I shall complain. Move over and let a ship and the Rogue Trader through. Unknown ship. Step aside, everyone. You know how much trouble I've been through a day alone. Anyways, please don't put my head on the pike. I'll behave. We shall see. We shall see. You shall be judged. You shall be judged. Ah, Driveston. Your lordship is an honour. I've never been Driveston, so he's materialised out of thin air. So suddenly does he emerge from the crowd, How great that such a fortunate circumstance of occasion of rogue traders visit the capital. Amentia tries to take a step toward you, but the warden nearby stops her. Face is veiled with fear and weirdness. Your ladyship, you're here. Please, you must hear us out. Rogue Trader is undoubtedly here to listen to the testimony of each and every one of us. Punish the traitors. Governor's words, the elected at Amentia, are harsh. They are echoed by the scornful sneers and whispers of the assembled nobles. We've known each other for many decades now. I've had and we have had our fair share of disagreements, but do you really think my flesh and blood would tremble upon the very definition of honor and loyalty? Amanda sweeps gaze at Abelard and replies, a faint shadow of doubt in it. You have evidence implicating them, Abelard. I'm sure her ladyship will arrive at a fair ruling. If once alone I'm not enough to make me doubt the loyalty of House of Esserin. Just shove it immediately and dismiss it. No, they're loyal. I know they're loyal. Why did I get another ping? Oh. I thought Discord was broken, but instead it's just sending me messages. Like it should. What are the charges against House of Esserin? Disruption of logistical lines, bribery of adeptus administration. Bribery of adeptus administration officials? Who would do such a thing? That's awful. That's atrocious. I can't believe someone would bribe administrative officials. I can't believe someone would do that. That's awful. I would never do such a thing. Obviously, I would never do such a thing. Because that would be awful. On top of evidently devastating economic impact this has had on your protectorate, these criminal acts have impeded the delivery of the Imperial tithe, which in turn is... Wow. Delaying the delivery of the Imperial tithe? That's awful! I can't believe someone would do that! That's horrible! That's such a terrible crime! Like, unbelievable. In my capital world? Someone did that? Someone did that in my capital world? That's unbelievable. I can't believe that. Wow. Needless to say, the esteemed disabilities cannot ignore this situation either, and for the representatives arrive at the palace, we are obliged to identify and punish those responsible. Amentia, tell me what actually happened. Yeah, we didn't do it. These last few months have indeed been trying for the Argonas, but we've done our best to remedy the situation. My family's efforts of stabilizing the capital's logistical economy, so much we failed to notice the web of intrigue unfolding behind our back. What happened on the Argonas in Iraq? We caught wind of the rumours of your disappearance. We patiently waited news your return, but then the Argonas was struck by a series of terrible events. First was the sabotage at logistics that hampered shipments. Then mass unrest spread across the entire planet, and the minor noble house began squabbling upon themselves. Totally relates to the Gene Seal uprising I kind of accidentally spotted. We took great pains to calm them down and managed to quash the revolt. No help. It's also been overshadowed by the, I'm ashamed to even say it loud in front of your leadership, the rumours circulating by houses. Some are calling for Theodore's true heir to be at your house. Cannot avoid fear. Not all your subjects have forgotten his past efforts of the benefit of the Trade Protectorate. An investigation was launched, the evidence led to the restaurants. Okay, why are there dead bodies at the front door? They were assassins. They were drive-sim assassins, I'll have you know. What? Care to tell me what? Drive-sim, you're not accusing one of Dargonus' leading noble houses of treason without airtight evidence, are you? Of course I have the evidence. We have a host of documents. Allow me to introduce my son, Cornelius. Cornelius holds a prodigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it's thanks to him that we managed to identify and trace the entire chain of forged documents. The investigation led us to the perpetrators. We admitted to acting on the orders of members of the House of Esserin. What was they who were intent on spreading the idea of restoring the title of Rogue Trader to the true heir? This young man is shrouded in Mr. Grey and Blue, sickly shadows of fear are fluttering him. I mean, empires. You support the governor's accusations? Well... Salbeck supports. Gapra thinks... Alright. I humbly ask you to allow me to speak in defence of my family's honour. The evidence provided by the government is utterly false. I cannot refute it, but I can say with confidence that no one from my family has ever tried to forge shock news. Letters administrator, unless they undermine the economy of your capital. Words alone are not enough to make me doubt the loyalty of House Vesserin. As the Rogue Trader, I order you to release him from custody at once. Different circumstances have not have dared to spare your word, your ladyship. But I'm afraid the situation demands the guilty receive their due punishment. Taking a moment to seriously consider whether I shouldn't just blam these people on the spot. Marsh himself certain to arrive here sooner or later. This appears to be flimsy. We should learn more for a final decision. Thank you for your willingness to help Lord Captain. My sentinels charges are false, and we're grateful if you help exposing them. And you speak to everyone present, the noble lords and ladies. Oh, great! I'm playing Ace Attorney now, something like that. I want to play a detective game. I want to shoot people with my gun. Let's start with Gabrak, huh? Suddenly he's sumptuously dressed in the colours of House Gabrak, are standing in a half circle around Toriana and her son Vincent. The bodies and faces of almost every member of the dynasty are covered in large, ornate augmetics. Reading a Gabrak hurts you. A mechanical voice sounds distant and indifferent. Greetings, your ladyship. May the Omnissiah grant you understanding. Abelard, it must be difficult for you to be here under these circumstances. Your house standing accused such a great crime. My family, Lady Toriana, is yet to be found guilty of anything. That verdict's for the Rogue Trader to... You think it's true? Maybe? I would not take such a responsibility upon myself and rule on their guilt, your ladyship. How can we do? I do think the government drives in accusations are worthy of consideration, however. In your opinion, which nobles might have a reason to be party to such a conspiracy? Pardon my bluntness, your ladyship, but I answer truthfully, it could be any. I examined the bodies of the assailants that were killed today. All of them were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families closely adeptus mechanicus, isn't that so? It is impossible to read Toriana's emotions on her heavily augmented face. Their sudden turn towards her family betrays her confusion and surprise. Like whispers bounce from one family to another. Impossible, we came here by ourselves without any servitors. We know nothing about it. Your ladyship, thank you for informing us. Absolutely right. My house has indeed been endowed with high-functioning servitors, blessing those with the side. But today, none of our house members are accompanied by them. What's this note? Officially, high-functioning servitors employed by my house alone. Such units were to attack Rogue Trader, suspicion might instantly fall upon Gaprax. I assume this is what the Vesperins intend to happen, but I can't expect the servitors to have less leisure on them. Vincent. When do you serve, your ladyship? How may I help you? What could you make of the charge against the Vesperin family? Could they truly be guilty? I do not think I can doubt the validity of the accusations, but... I was not sure the House of Vesperin had a reason to betray your ladyship. I don't know of any instance where their loyalty to you and the Emperor was anything less than. You care for a starty Vesperin and you prepared to watch her die? There's something you have to know, your ladyship. But then notices one of my family members be in an odd, uncharacteristic mood. Helen Geprak is my paternal second cousin, once removed. So many love no phrase. May the Emperor save his soul. Usually reserved and self-possessed, but he was frantic and anxious, fidgeting with a small piece of paper and seemingly looking for someone to no avail. When last saw him, he was headed to the entrance hall, where the elders are. Perhaps you should talk to him. Oh, well, I think I've seen him. There's a piece of paper in it. It is. Through the blood you can read. Keep away from the lords and ladies. You must look like a noble to the servants and wardens. Do not engage in conversation with anyone. Ask you to avoid exposing yourself ahead of Christians. Get away while the war busy guarding them.
Is there money to be made?
Not try not everywhere. Helen Gaprak, I presume. An just man of middle years is kneeling in front of the altar. Wow, look at this. His palms folded in prayer close to his face. The implant-free parts of his skin are a sickly blue colour. Nimble does not react to your presence. He does not lift his head, he does not blink, he does not even breathe. Only when you draw close you realise he is dead.
The colours of House Gabrick. I do not believe he decided to take his own life in such an extravagant way. As far as I know, there is a warden post here, but I do not see any warden. I want to ask about what happened here or with whom this man spoke before he died. I'd like to ask Urban where the palace guard suddenly disappeared to. A familiar sight. There are poisons that rapidly damage the nervous system, causing paralytic spasms throughout the body once injected. Victims usually suffocate slowly and painfully, unable to call for help. What are supplies? You are versed in the art of underhanded murder. Have you often resorted to the coward's weapon in your life rather than fighting fair? I have.
Oh, Heinrichs, I love you. All of my victims are enemies of the Imperium who could not have been reached by any other means. Would you prefer they still be alive, my loyal Wolfar? Guys, gentlemen, please. We have already got one murder to deal with here. Let's not add to the pile. Let's look at the body. There are no visible wounds, but gold trim collar, you notice tiny punctures with your skin. Pockets. A secret pocket in the lining of the dead man's collar. What? No. A secret pocket in the lining of the dead man's luxurious jacket. What? I was still thinking of the collar previously. Funny piece of paper inside with a handkerchief embroidered with the initials HG. Make sure the rogue trader is attacked by someone loyal. It should appear as if it was all the stage to let the Reston family escape. The last assignment soon your debt will be paid off in full. Okay. So people are trying to stage the Restoraine's escape to make them look guiltier. Brown. Oh. This is truly suspect. I think there's no, I'm not thinking. I'm better, I'm stronger. I will not make Among Us jokes at every possible opportunity. So, Toriana Gaprak, you will not believe what I've just found. I discovered a dead body, a member of your house, right here in my palace. He died kneeling in prayer. Helen, it can't be. Helen was it? Tell me about him, Toriana. Helen is one of the lower-ranking members of House Gaprak. Despite his advanced age, he never held high office. He was forever striving to better his position, even beyond his abilities. Many members of my house struggled to cope with the misfortune that befell Kiabagama and our family. Some members could not reconcile themselves to our new position. Helen was one of them. What could have happened? Toriana, the time to keep silent is long gone. The future of Von Lance's trade dynasty and your house are both at stake now. We lost Kiavagana, a truly devastating blow to every member of House Gaprak. I lost all hope for the future and my kin lost their sense of purpose. We needed time to recover and chart a new course for ourselves. We were, and still are, more than capable of doing that. But I will not deny it, the other houses offered us their assistance, but their own self-serving. Perhaps Halen decided to take them up on their offers behind my back.
Lord Captain, the Gapraks, all or perhaps only some of them, are definitely involved, but I suspect that they were not behind the plot against you. Helen Gaprak could be nothing more than a puppet in the hands of a deft puppet master. We must expose whoever it is we are. Prevent the pestilence of heresy spread. You suggest we do? Get the heads of the drive-set and Salvac houses. One of them is brings here. We'll cover new evidence, announce that the guilty party will publicly execute. Or you pronounce the verdict. I suggest focusing on each house in your indictment speech. I shall observe them. I've known people far longer than you have. I know all their gestures, habits, and behavioural quirks. I'm sure I'll be able to determine which of them are responsible for the right based on.
Oh, I certainly hope so. Let's talk to Salvac, then. And before you, Salvac scooting you with a bitter, judgmental look. Jessica Salvac, looking like a younger copy of his father, stands at a slight distance close to his mother, dispensing of your understated dress serves a highlight dazzling beauty of Macaris's wife, Regina Salvac. Salvac says that irritating revulsion flicks across his face. Despite Salvac's attempts at revulsion, the presence of humans in your writing undoubtedly reflects his fervent desire to eliminate anything. My convenience distress you, Salvac.
The Rogue Trader is the chosen servant of the Emperor and one of humanity's best. By surrounding yourself with depraved Xenos who scorn the very exceptionalism of humankind, you teach you on the brink of heresy. No privilege granted by the Emperor can blind others to that fact. Lordly existing in the same sector as Xenos is revolting, but their presence in your retinue here, in the capital city of Von Valentia's treachery, enrages me. As Xenos sullying the streets of this planet after what we endured, the protection of the Rogue Traders no less.
With a pain and distressed expression, Regina glanced at her husband, hands washing the ruffles of her dress. Nice. You really believe the Vesterans are guilty?
Certainly. Governor Driveston possesses proof of their guilt, and they have no means by which to refute it. Even if I were to entertain the idea that the Vesterans are being framed, how much longer would their house have lasted anyway if it was so ill-prepared for treachery? My advice to the House of Vesterans would not be to appeal to the Rogue Trader for help, but instead to simply stop, accept their fate, and not make matters worse. I don't remember Dolly Von Valencia seeking your advice on what House Vesterans should do in this situation. Pay attention, Macarius. Focus on Rogue Trader's question.
Amazing. Who apart from the Vesterans could have a motive to conspire against me?
House Drysdale wishing to expand their clout. House Gabrak lost their influence of the Kiavagana incident.
House Sarbeck, whose patriarch is too direct in his communication with the Rogue Trader. Anyone could have a reason to conspire against you, and equally, they could have none. It's not a question of motive, but of loyalty. Each of your subjects has sworn an oath of loyalty to you. So to whose sincerity do you doubt? Your unveiled hatred can be so when Sarbeck is granted not with heresy. My appearance to me, the Emperor's servant who flouts all that is sacred, personally seems to think the laws of the Imperium are meaningless.
Macarius, now is a time when you do well to stop and not make matters worse for yourself.
The assailants sent to the palace were rare, high-functioning services. Gabrak could be behind the attack. I've always thought Toriano too weak to participate in such risky ventures, but it seems I was wrong about her. I discovered a dead body. Man of House Gabrak with a node. You know anything about it?
Nah.
That's a little too quickly for my liking, but fair enough.
Let us.
Governor Driveston was surrounded by his retinue, who were all dressed in expensive gowns and finery. The matching colour scheme of their outfits and the striking physical resemblance among them suggests they all come from one family.
Well, Ladyship, thank you for giving this case your undivided attention.
What's your reason again? Why do you think the Vesterans are behind the plot against me?
These logistical economic problems gave rise to the initial rumours. We tried to find the person responsible for spreading the cause of Wojtka's return. Investigation showed that some of the documents inside the Odessa's administratum were forgeries. We give thereby some Cornelius for such astute observation.
Your Ladyship, a slightly young man bows to you awkwardly and nervously with his dry lips. I assure you my humble person is uncertain your attention.
Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it is he who discovered the errors leading to disrupted logistics. It is also thanks to him that we found the perpetrators of forgeries, who are acting on the orders of the House Veteran.
What do you make of this letter? And on one of the assailants?
Like another piece of evidence incriminating House Veteran. Perhaps they truly did intend to kill you, or at least cause a stir to help them escape custody during the confusion that followed.
Well, the assailants were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors only employed by families courtesy Depus Mechanicus.
High-functioning servitors. Servitors indeed rare, and the Gabraks do have them in service. This could have been done intentionally with an eye to confuse you. Anyone with desire and sufficient funds can hire them.
Know more about your son. If you're interested, Chip, I'm not worthy of it.
Son, show due respect. Forgive him, your Ladyship. This is the first time he's had the honour of attracting the attention of a rogue trader.
Alex narrows his eyes and glancing at shakes his interrogator senses tingling. Tell me more about your job, Cornelius. What do you do? I manage the documents and records related to the economy of Tarkonis. You probably know how scrupulous the works team, Deputies Administratum are. I'm afraid that a more detailed explanation of my duties would merely an administrative process of the Administratum. Too long and overly detailed. How do you manage to find the forged documents in the bureaucratic hell that is the Administratum? While compiling reports on the last cycle supply chain, I noticed inaccuracies and discrepancies in it. But help with the other clerks, I managed to find several other documents. Comprehensive data analysis has shown that discrepancies are caused by intentional tampering with the data, thus leading to some logistical problems that are practically unsolvable. Father and I have managed to single out the administrative clerk responsible for tampering with the data. Following a heated interrogation, they confessed that they were following the orders of someone from House Veteran. Everything was supposed to look as though they were one suffering losses from logistical and economic problems. But how does House Western have access to the Augustus Administratum? There's no conceivable way they could do all this in a place they do not hold any power. I think the right money, as a money can door. Cornelius, what's the true reason for this? This is the first time I've spoken face to face with a rogue trader. I'm afraid of saying something wrong or thinking something important. To tell the Lord Captain anything else? Speaking to a rogue trader, patience is running out. Forgive me, your ladyship. I can't do it anymore. The has gone too far. I can no longer control it. The truth is that all the logistical problems were caused by a single error in numbers. My mistake.
What?
When I discovered my mistake, it was almost impossible to restore suppliers, and I was approached by someone who said they were our friend. They did not give me their name, and I never saw their face. They promised to fix the problem. All I had to do was pretend that the rest of the friends were responsible for the mistake. As for the rest of the evidence, they promised to arrange it all, and...
What have you done? How could your ladyship? This is my fault. I entrusted my son. I failed you in doing so. I beg you, have mercy. You called my family's honour into question, Urban. Nevertheless, I have no desire to kick a man when he's down. Lord Captain, the confession you obtained means the House of Essering can now be cleared of all charges.
Where's this friend that approached you, Cornelius? How did the two of you communicate? By letter. I received a letter out of the blue one day. It was unsigned, but a person writing already knew my erroneous calculations. They offered to help me cover up my misdeed. In turn, I would name the restaurants the wood to sabotage the supply lines. All I had to do was gather together some documents and report something listed in one of the letters. And to keep my mouth shut. Urban, your son has found the courage to admit his mistake. I will try and find some compassion for him in my heart. Thank you, your ladyship.
That's your position. And that's your position. I think we're assigned to a role requiring less responsibility.
Did you see anything Gabrak today before I arrived?
Helen, I don't know myself about.
Any of you? I think that's my sister and I saw him sitting on the bench and distant away from the palace entrance. I think he was accompanied by a gentleman, but forgive us, your ladyship, we couldn't make out his face. Getting information.
Well, Captain, I think we should go to that spot to have a look around. Not sure exactly what we might find out, but today's day full of surprises, miss.
That was a dead body. And no one noticed. There was no one in. The wardens at their post. Did you order to do so?
Emperor forbid, your ladyship. Your negligence is stunning, Urban. Assassination attempt followed by a mysterious death, and yet here you are oblivious to everything. The rogue trader can justly accuse you of allowing a noble to be killed in the palace and for failing to even notice it. Maybe so, but it's true for the rogue trader to accuse you of negligence, not you. Your ladyship, I accept my deepest apologies for my imprudence. Nothing matters more to me than my honour. Send the summons to do with all this immediately.
Summon everyone. I'm ready to pronounce my verdict. The charges brought by Governor Drivestone were fabricated. House Vestford had nothing to do with the orchestration of the riots or the plot targeting the rogue trader. However, the real perpetrators are here in this very room. Urban drives them. You've accused House Vesserin of violations that were, in truth, the result of grave error committed by your son. The governor closed his eyes, fear and shame getting better. Some faces in the crowd look confused and surprised, but you see more wearing expression of self-satisfied contempt. No, it's not drive someone. Oriana Gaprak, a member of your family orchestrated an assassination attempt against me, here in my own palace. And though he has already been found dead, his act is reason enough for Rebrand House's traitor. Mocking whispers. Trembling faintly, she does not raise her head. Okay, sound back. Your overt contempt towards me is enough to implicate you in the conspiracy. I remain silent, and the intense, anxious gazes darting back and forth between you and Macarius. Starbucks browser raised higher, you noticed you're working nervously. Abelard narrows sight, scrutinizing Macarius Sabak and his rhetoric standing behind him. For a second, his sharp eyes seem to have caught sight of something. Lose track of it in a moment. At this point, sight tells you, let be Sabak. behind all this? Drive stem, assassination. Conspiracy against the Rogue Trader, I find. I'll serve it guilty. The head of your family has never tried to hide that you. There's more than enough to convict him. I will not go against your despicable verdict. I'll accept it. Our Sarbeck has never given you a reason to doubt our loyalty, and thus I will accept death with pride. There is more honour in that than serving the likes of you. You makes Brett say something with soft last moment, a beautiful face, not expressing anything but frosty resignation. Something. I feel we've done something wrong. I feel like I should have asked some questions. We say we execute them all. The order of Rogue Trader, members of House Sarbeck, sense death, heresy, and crimes against his trade brings. No, we've missed something. We've missed something important. I want to go back. I want to go back and see if I can't poke my nose around a little more. No, it just doesn't sit well with me. Sure, killing off a house who were opposed to me is good and all, but there's an actor behind this. There's an actor behind this. I want to know who it is.
I did it?
I need to ask more questions. I need to ask better questions. That's what I need.
Keep your wits about you.
Your style of combat deserves
Nothing but contempt, dude. She fights the same way that your these scouts do.
I always have a backup plan.
Starbeck. Go down here. We find he's dead. Kills over and die.
I always keep my options open.
Worth looking for in here. Rat. Discovered a dead body. And him.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Yeah, let's speak to the Vesserines. They might know something I don't. As you draw close, the warden step aside, bowing respectfully, allowing you to approach the Vesserin family. Clementia, tired and slightly dishevelled, is the first to bow her head to you in deference. Several men and women behind her follow suit. Your ladyship. The woman stammers, as if lost for words. I accept my most humble apologies for failing to greet you properly. My thanks for agreeing to speak to me before making a final decision. The charge is brought by the governor of Sphere, but I can only assure you this. I swear by my own honour, we are not guilty of the crimes the House Vesserin is being accused of.
Clementia. You're acting head of this family. You're supposed to take care of each and every family member. Now you're being accused of treason and collusion against the Rogue Trader, and the entire family is facing death. How could you let that happen?
Found this letter on one of the bodies of the heretics who planned the attack. What can you tell me about it? The ladyship, let us be frank. It would be foolish for me to try and orchestrate something like this, knowing how many wardens are patrolling your palace. I'll not let myself or anyone in my family get involved in such. Daggers are high-functioning servitors. You're not guilty, who is? Hang on, really? I want to find out what is going on here and who the real mastermind behind all this is. Where should I start? Garrisons of the houses, he's running a retinue. Oh, here's something unusual. The body of Helen Gaprak. He had this note on him. Not sure if it's relevant, perhaps you should know. This is from the Kavgar, my house Gaprak has been faring poorly. Names your forged documents.
Let us not dawdle.
really does seem to be them, but we're missing something. We're missing something very important. Servant. Leaving us. I'm trying to leave. Who else you speak to Governor Driveston?
Keep your wits about you.
If I go here, does the quest fail? It better not. Shady character. Huh?
I always have a backup plan.
Is the side plot or is it relevant? Probably irrelevant, but you know what.
Always keep your eye on the prize. Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
I'm missing something. It's agonizing. I know I'm missing something. I don't know what, but I know I'm missing it. At least I feel like I am. If I'm not, and it really is just a case of execute those guys you don't like. Fine, fine, we'll talk to drive somewhere. Who's left their post? The Halen Gap rat. Give me some.
This could be an opportunity.
I'm probably talking to someone here, like
My
shit.
house would be proud of me.
How Sabek usually serves this wine. Interesting. Maybe it was House Sabek after all. I just got lucky.
Is there money to be
Oh,
made?
I mean, signs point to it. That's nice little sentence. Outspoken.
Let us not dawdle.
Alright, I'm willing to say that it was Salbeck all along. I'm willing to place the blame on Salbeck. Not a big deal. They don't like me. I don't like them. Governor, summon everyone. Charge it. Weapon drive stem. It's not doing it. Oriana Gapra. Tried to assassinate me. Salbeck. And now Salbeck offered their help to the Gaprax, and Lady Helen Gaprax seems to have their offer. Avlad narrows his eyes, scrutinizes Macaris Salbeck and is resting standing behind them. His sharp eyes light up when he catches sight of something important hidden in the crowd. Nash looks at you and nods, just say, puffed his skin until the way he pronounced the letter. Salbeck, guilty. Nashel, you may take him. There we go.
Macaris, I must admit I've always admired your bluntness. But just as I once had to say goodbye to a promotion because of my dislike for intrigue, you, and your family, you should say goodbye to your heads. Tell me now in your blunt fashion, are you loyal to House von Valencius? I am loyal, Viscerin. You're not lying, but someone else is. Someone who poised to destroy both you and your family for her own gain.
Macaris has no time to respond. Regina, who's standing beside him, raises her arms to slap the Bleach Nashel. Avlad deftly catches her wrist, stopping her right hand and right in front of his face. Then he hands adorned with a massive augmetic ring, topped with a thin spike dripping with venom. Apex shifts his confused gaze from his wife to Abelard and back end. The stiff arrogance has vanished in his posture. Regina, you? Mother. For some reason I was having Hector, of course.
Macaris, your bluntness made you an open book. When I talked about helping the Gaprax, you had no idea what I was referring to. Your wife, on the other hand, her eyes started shifting like you would not believe. Regina Salbeck, you alone betrayed the Rogue Trader, jeopardizing the prosperity of the Von Valesius trade dynasty. You alone are responsible for your unmasking.
Regina, why would you do this? Because Dargonus is serving an impostor. The true of the Protectorate bears a different name. When Kunrad appeared on Dargonus, he paid me a visit. Opened my eyes, the truth of the situation. Theodora was killed by the one whom she had so unwarily taken under her wing. Macaris is too narrow-minded to even consider opposing the Rogue Trader. Even an illegitimate one. So I had to wait for the right moment. And her disappearance of the Lord Captain could have not have come at a better time. It was quite simple to trigger a chain of events on Dargonus that the people remembered must have for his past service. It seems that many of your subjects do not actually consider you a worthy successor. Why the Viscerans? Because when stripped of the Sneshel's protection, this house is the weakest one in all of Dargonus. And they're also particularly disliked by the governor's family, when easy to bury their best friends under accusations of heresy. Who aided you? There's no way you managed all this on your own. Oh, of course I didn't. I have too many helpers to list them all. Rest assured there are plenty of them, just there are plenty of people who follow Master Voidfear. My death will not change anything. The true Rogue Trader will come and take his rightful place when the time is right. Why did you kill Helen Gaprak? Helen was a good agent, but he was also a coward. He came to me just before our formidable Rogue Trader arrived. He was ready to confess everything. I should think he pleaded for the Emperor's forgiveness first. And he did grant him mercy, did he not? Abelard, the sentence is yet to be carried out. Finish this.
Rogue Trader condemning the rotten apple or the entire barrel.
I'm not accepting this entire noble line is loyal to me just because of one traitor.
In that case, Gina Sabak should be subject to intense interrogation followed by execution.
There we go. That's a much better conclusion, I'd say. It's only just because I didn't look out for the bouquet when I had the chance. Quite foolish of me, really. By right of the Rogue Trader, Regina Salbach is sentenced to death for heresy and crimes against Northern history. They love throwing that word around, heresy, don't they? It might be more effective if she was on the table, I'm just saying. When in doubt, say, true words have never been spoken.
Lord Captain. You have my thanks. A rogue trader should not waste time on the matters that our servants and trustees can resolve, but in this case, your intervention was necessary. Not just for the sake of my family, but for your trade dynasty as well. Gina Saubach, evidently Konrad's accomplices continue to plot against your protectorate. I fear we've not heard the last of such scoundrel. Thanks to you, Lord Captain, House Vesserin is saved, although it came close to being wiped out as a result of scheming without and imprudence within. Sometimes I think about how much I could teach them. Will they survive in the future?
What are you going to do now?
I need time to reflect upon what has happened and the role I played in it. I think I'll be ready to resume this conversation later when we're back on board the ship.
Yay! I got a fancy ring for it. I honestly want to use these ring weapons more. They're so interesting. However, I have no use for them. Sadly, because I'm a skill monkey. Boy, am I glad I reloaded. So embarrassed. Was that a T-posing servitor? Man, this game is like sometimes so high quality and sometimes really not. Ugh. Take the slow route out, didn't I? Well, it's nice to just walk around my palace, you know. Habla.
Lord Captain, allow me to express my gratitude once again for your assistance. If it weren't for your intervention, my entire family could have been executed on false charges. I could have lost them all. I never imagined the Versarians would be so vulnerable, while I serve as seneschal to the Lord Captain herself, far from home. To tell you the truth, Lord Captain, this whole situation has got me thinking. As patriarch of the Versarian family, I have a responsibility
That's how it's
to my
pronounced.
bloodline. Yes, it is my duty to serve as seneschal to the Rogue Trader, and I have no intention of relinquishing that role, if you find my service as satisfactory as did Lady Theodora. However, if I could be more involved in my family's affairs, and still serve the von Valancius dynasty.
This is about his ending card, isn't it? Simply, he's one of the few men I trust absolutely, both in terms of loyalty to the Emperor and loyalty to myself. So, letting go is not something I particularly want to do. But I also do want to make things better. Oh. What do you want? Tell me plainly.
Under Lady Theodora, I served as steward of the Trade Protectorate on more than one occasion. In that capacity, I was based on Dargonus, rather than traveling with the Rogue Trader on the flagship. If it would be possible, after the immediate need for my presence is over, I would like to return to that position. To oversee the Trade Protectorate on the capital world, while at the same time presiding over the Versarian family, and using my authority to help elevate it.
You hurt me, Abelard. Alright. You earn this much. Understand your desire. Traditions and always must change. I will allow you to return to Dargonus after immediate crisis and expenses.
Thank you, Lord Captain. Under my watch, the Trade Protectorate will remain safe and prosper in service to you. Well then, Lord Captain. It is time I return to my duties. Lord Captain.
And let us continue heading up. The toilets are full of blood, who cares? Happens to like everyone at least once. And how is the colony visited by saints in their dreams? The saints give the workers their blessing. Cool. Let's deal with someone else's problem. Isn't that a lot? What the hell? How many licks does it take to get to the center of that star? Damn. Lord Captain, we're riding Tom's force system. Our translations from the war was a little rough, and it lost about 500 souls in the middle and surface decks, and God help those. How many wounded? But that's only the half of it. Grey boxes and the augurs sending me reports that aren't doing me most any favours. Real space here's got more holes in a sieve, and all sense to playing up. It's got to be sorcery, Lord Captain. If I was you, Lord Captain, I'd do what I came into and sharpish and clear out. Or we still can. I've seen the likes of this before in the same region. Maybe a sorcerer will explain better, but here's what I know. Stuff like this never ends well. Yeah, no, that star looks bloody fascinating, it does. I don't necessarily mean that's a good thing. Oh wow, 7 medium. The surface of the star shimmers with a myriad of hues. The dance of colours fascinates any who dare glance at it. Imagine if you stared directly at the star, you fascinated in the sense you got blind, but okay. The playful coloured patterns appear on the vessel's augurs in a wide variety of spectra, from infrareds to ultraviolet. Every voidsman knows such emissions are dangerous to organic matter. Master Helmsman Raven asks crew to resist the desire to mine the star. Not everyone manages to follow this advice, and some members suffer from nausea and headache. Let's not stare at it and have anyone's brains melt. If the helmsman says we don't go there, then we don't go there. He's been doing it longer than I've been alive after all. Here, let's kill some unknown ships.
Time to earn your keep, crew.
Let's see. Oh my. They're rather large.
Keep up the pressure.
Quite a menacing thing to see, but we can kill it. I'm shooting some one range out. Oh, they're just turning around, okay. I'm cricking my neck. And I turn to check some comments and chat. Hurts. Not a good feeling. Ah! Wow, that's quite the impressive colour scheme now. Crew members.
Make every shot count.
I just realised everyone's sleeping on the damn job. What?
Fire at will. With the force of a supernova. Macro cannon. Open fire.
Whatever. You two can find my backup. Kill it. do you think you're going? Oh, that's what I thought. Kaboom. Boy, am I glad I'm not that guy.
Lance batteries. Volley.
Splat. Damn, almost managed to kill that thing as well.
Window
This
force
engine's
of a
okay.
supernova.
Excuse me.
Lance batteries. Volley. The void may be harsh, but we're harsher.
Oh, shut up. Let's see. Well, Hansen Deck sounds very funny. And I don't see any reason why I shouldn't take one. Okay. Would people like to start doing their jobs, please and thank you? I see. It's pretty good. I want to do that. Alright. This looks to be the fourth world, so this must be where we're looking. Excavation. Sounds like something Pascal wants to be here for, so... Sorry, Abelard, I'll leave you behind. Ship's cargo shuttle. Room with rubbish.
I can see your furtive looks in my direction, monkey.
I am doing my job.
Yeah. The vanquished aircraft obviously fell from a height. Too much time has passed them and caused the crash. Alpha smell of promethium lingers in the air around the burning mechanism. It was down to the accelerant to set the light. Axe been fashioned from one of the creature's had hands. Barricades and
Keep your wits about you.
Hello, hello, hello. A sentry rubs her eyes and gawks you. One half of her face is covered with a bulky, rusty automatic on the purpose. You came to rescue us! Praise the God I reached you. Oh, the source's message reached others like him. May he rest in peace. Most honored by your presence, please come forward quickly out of the darkness. The woman hurriedly checks nearby Lumen, her hands fist shaking. Those creatures come in the dark, you see. Not for much longer, not much longer. Now you're here, and Mistress Luck and Hart can already find a way to help us. Harris Daly listens to the sentry's speech. Takes a few steps forward and intently pierces face the woman herself freezes in fear. Eric scowls and can't glance at you. You need to hurry. Wow, 40% pass, nice. Even though the wavering lumens, you notice something strange. The slightly skewed proportions, the almost indiscernible asymmetry of her features. Looking at all the other sentries, you see the same oddity in their faces too. In fact, they're all wearing the same strange, ramshackle implants, which are clearly not combat cosmetics.
Noticed, have you? Don't jump to any conclusions. Could be a local genetic anomaly. Anything else? Can't say anything for sure.
What's happening on the planet? It's terrible, my lady. I don't even know how to describe it. It's been, well, how long's it been? A few months, probably. A few months have been plagued by these sorcerous beasts. As soon as night fell, they came, creeping right at the shadows black as soot. There's no stopping them. The only thing that's worked so far is keeping the eyes burning and maintaining a constant watch. Even with that, the creature track us off in ones and twos, second drop our guard. Those creatures from the shadows. Humans? Explain presence warp anomalies. Look. A stroke of luck, it seems we already found who we're looking for. Mistress Lycanheart? Lady? Wouldn't have survived without her. Just so happened she was here at a local excavation when the monsters started appearing. We've been losing contact with the other sides of the planet since then, like candles being snuffed out one after another. The rest of them must have all perished. We're still here holding on. You do not appear to be very sturdy. Please, my lady. You think we're trained guardsmen with the expedition convoy? We're lived for generations and up until now God has guarded us from misfortune. And now we have to fight. The survivors have all gathered from total. We don't know what weapons we have. How was I supposed to help us against these butchers when we don't know how to use our weapons? Expedition? Yes, about 30 years back, we were all here with a load of clever people from some hybrid depths or something or other. And we've lived here ever since. I've raised 4 kids here. 2 died in the excavations. One was taken by monsters, but my youngest is still alive. Excavations? That's the expedition. Objectives. It was interesting. The easiest option would be to ask her directly. Why should see Emily and liking her? I should let you know it's inside in the pit. You go on, don't be afraid. She'll be there to probably greet you. Stand guard. How speak up with
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Yeah, but if you don't mind, I'm going to loot you first. And get a level for it. Wow, that was a good decision. I shall... Pick their ranks. That little warp roll was pretty embarrassing. Let's increase that. Levels, nature's rewards. True. Guess why not? Yes. No, I've got too many people with that. Zone of Fear sounds pretty fun, but I also kind of just want to Give her a glimpse of fate so she can, hey, make use of some of her buff. Imagine the red tide is powerful AoE that she can just dump anywhere. Right, look. Ulfa. Straight to fire, why not? And arouse. Yeah. Warp speed sounds amazingly powerful. Sure, extra action points. 10 out of 10, no notes. And Pascal get intimidation and more logic. Actually, no, more tech use. Well, No, you can never have too high a tech use, I think. That's just the standard scales forever.
I always keep my options open.
Oh, where's it come from? And all the lights. Oh, those look like mandrakes to me.
I will wipe your disgusting presence out of existence.
Now I'm starting to wish that I took certain Deldar with us. A bit easy.
I'll see to it personally. It's as good as done. Who, if not me, on it? I'll make it happen.
Irlet. Please do the Irlet thing you often do, where you just kill everyone.
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
Okay, please.
This tedium is beneath me. If I must. Another soul
Splat.
slips beyond the veil.
Oh. I thought she was gonna do more. Oh well.
It's as good as done.
Now it's your turn.
I understand your intent. If it serves your cause, no weakness is hidden from my sight.
Kill 2 guardsmen, just so you know. Charge here.
I deal death with my
Bang.
hands. This tedium has been. I hear you moving.
Bang.
No more.
Aren't she getting the extra kills? What? No, please get up close to the space marine. I'll definitely.
For the glory of the Imperium!
Yeah, there's no warp nonsense.
For the throne's glory.
He's hidden at the back.
But of course, Lord Captain. Let's see to it. Holy terror! Smite your enemies! See our foes obliterated.
And he shoots through, killing the guy behind, because of course he does.
For the throne's...
It's friendly fire, you know. That means it's nice. Friendly.
No mercy for heretics!
Quick! Quick! Heretics be damned! Emperor, protect me.
Lol. Assia, would you kindly... Maybe just one more here, okay.
Isn't this a job for the serfs? I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Feel the icy bite of death!
I am a navigator. Another foe painted black.
Heinrich,
I'll
would
paint
you
your
kindly...
death in colors.
Let's see to it. I'm done with this one. I won't
Reckless
object to
rush.
it.
Get
The
down.
Emperor is on our side.
Facilitate them. Yes.
Natural.
Charge.
For the throne, nothing stands against me. Your reckoning is due.
Honestly, it's really funny because I didn't know magic's like a thing until like this year, and I've seen him twice in a single game. How bizarre, how bizarre.
Why don't I go kill someone instead?
Excuse you, that was a 95% chance of failure. What? Hold on, can I redo that? Please tell me I can redo that.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Or it's just a 95% chance to tell me it's not moving.
Was that supposed
No,
to be
no,
a
I really did just score a whopping great big 5%. Amazing. Hey, this place looks friendly.
Damn it! It's a Vox liturgy twisted by warp sorcery. Try not to listen too closely.
I cannot make out a single word, but the taint that hangs with these sounds in the air is almost palpable.
Right.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Sparky. Let's see.
My success is an
Acquisition.
irrefutable certainty.
London screen targets. Okay. Don't have that. When anywhere is targeted by attack of opportunity. I don't care. Battle stimulator medkit. Lost 20 strength. Shouldn't the medkits are like completely worthless?
I'll learn from this mistake.
The coin toss. Well, twice I could like redo tests, so what, did I just fail it twice? Are you still winning? I think I am. Managed to solve a political crisis using the power of safe scumming, and now I am examining this thing.
I always get the job done.
Mystical patterns of broken pottery and tablets. Take a look. Swim before your eyes. Oh great, mercy. Conveyor belt littered with fragments of stone, chippings, and fragments of human-made items.
I always have a backup plan.
The power smell set them on fire. Why would you? Oh yeah, because they need fire, otherwise the mandrakes come out and kill them. Or what? Ooh, crack grenade and medkit. I really need medical training. And what is this? This doesn't look very nice. The suit figure draws back the hood of a grimy robe, revealing the emaciated face of a woman. The skin is stretched taut over her skull and sickening protruding augmentations, and her cheek is marred with several open wounds. She looks with a feverish gleam in her eyes. Ah, the visual description matches interrogative Van Kellogg's. The sage blinks her several times and the head twitches. You made it here after all. Harris's usual mask of stoicism has melted away without a trace. He stares around him in undisguised dismay. Melina? What is this? You're probably arting rituals, but no, stop, right now. And I'll never move unless I tell you. The sage draws herself upright, as far as her crooked spine will allow, and flicks several switches on her facial augmentics. Then she turns to you, ignoring Hyrix's words completely. Have you brought with you interrogator Van Kellogg's clearance level? Hello, Von Valentius, Rogue Trader and the God Emperor's Anointed. Von Valentius, Rogue Trader to him. Territory of the Galacticus, for abundance, head of the dynasty, Theodore Von Valentius has been flagged for heretical sentiments, threat level. I brought the help you requested in your message, Emelina. Avoid ship under the aegis of the Rogue Trader. I dragged thousands of people and megatons of plasteel and ceramite through the bolts of warp, and for what? To discover that you've sold yourself to the Arch Enemy? You're drawing conclusions based on incomplete knowledge of the situation, Sir Robert Van Kellogg's. Your judgment is impaired. What has happened on Tom 4? I came here on the Supreme Directive of the Wolf Inquisitor and endeavoured the historical mission has enabled Tom 4 to study the origins of civilization that was inhabited the planet, but was settled by humans. The mission aimed to discover which colony ship they came from and where they disappeared. First the ancient culture and its source just the existence of primitive set of fates among the dark inhabitants of this world, fates that struck into with the worship of the Arch Enemy. The divine scrolls indicate the shaman which gives the chaos to protect the people, secure their harvest, and their worship of vitality, and that cult persisted for 1,000 years. I was cataloguing the data when the attacks began, and when they were at outposts, and to recognize the enemy by the tactics required. They chose an unremarkable defensive world when nights last half the year. By the time the 5 outposts had been swallowed by the darkness, the last ash had been torn to pieces, and many calls they helped send to the Caucasus unit had been unanswered. Nevertheless, no hope was going to compensate us. All this knowledge. So I put this knowledge to use for the good of humanity. Hyrix, make sense of this for me. Am I going mad? Or is your colleague engaged in flagrant heresy here? The notion of heresy is hardly applicable to people in our line of work, Dolly, but you are correct about one thing. Emelina has crossed the line that separates Servants of the Imperium from deluded Chaos Worshipper. I'm sorry to ask, but what are you trying to achieve here, Emelina? The ritual we interrupted, what is it supposed to do? Emelina lifts her gaze upwards. Over the squad, there was half a long night of the magics of the total advantage over us, so forced a new heavenly body. It's one of human making to rise above the horizon and illuminate the dark side of the planet. Spiritual works out of master secret of forging a new sun. This is madness. Madness, pride, and monstrous, staggering heresy. Do you believe you've discovered a ritual for creating a sun here? Buried under silicon finance and knowledge and resources that can repel the enemies of humanity. We're too afraid of anything that would prohibit it. The memory contains thousands upon thousands of pages of manuscripts and scrolls. Contacting enemies is supposed to guarantee instant death. The preachers who claim these are liars and then prove their falsehoods. A fine time to show your true colours, Inquisitor. Let's see if you'll do what is right, or it's going to prove that you'll consider yourself above the rules. Aldolfar, with all due respect to you and your chapter, keep your mouth shut. Your skepticism is the last thing I need right now. I didn't realise those two were going to be so catty to each other. That's a lot of words. Basically, she's trying to do something stupid and horrible for no good reason. Well, for a good reason, but like, oh, come on. You're a friggin' Inquisitor. Like, here's a line, and then there's the Inquisitor's line, and there's where you are. Quite far away from both of those. Do I have become this Terragate Van Kellogg's? I'm at the engine. You should commanders through pretest of becoming there, but see through the essence of things. I have, as the Puritan states, come to the heresy of radicalization. Moreover, in doing so, I'm only following the paths which have cemented the unforgiveness that I've chosen the path of the ablationists, where he chose the human hybrids, 14 lines through the coast of Curry. Wait, what? Ablation? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I forgot he'd be Scottish. The worst part is he's not Scottish. He's supposed to be like... Scandinavian? Yeah, that's the word. Scandinavian. But I can't do a Scandinavian accent, so I'm giving him a Scottish accent. Not that I can't do a Scandinavian accent, it's that I don't know what a Scandinavian accent would look like. Like, sound like even. What would it look like? I know that most people don't have sympathy, but like, that was an outrageous statement. Oh, yeah. It kind of comes across as Scottish though. I don't know. The Spaceballs are like ambiguously Scottish, Scandinavian, you know. It's like, it's supposed to be all Scandinavian because they're like worshipping the All Father and singing their ambiguously Scandinavian hymnals and drinking and, I know, giving each other Norse names and all. But also, Games Workshop is based in England. So, it was always going to be a little bit Scottish. Anyway, it's very weird to me that they've not given us a description of what the ablationists of the Xenos hybrids are, where they usually give us a dictionary mouse over. So either they're going to explain it in the next paragraph, or we're going to have to figure it out ourselves. What I do know, because I read the Inquisition page on the wiki one time, is that the ablationists are people who think that they're better than Chaos, and that they can outsmart Chaos. They're wrong, and they're stupid for thinking it. Chaos exists only to be destroyed. I'll have you know. I think, like, is she making a demon host? I think she wasn't making anything that. She said she was making which was some of the sun, whatever. You see what I mean? Emelina, suppress your urge to debate internal matters in the presence of the Rogue Trader. Additionally, I will not tolerate insults to the Lord Inquisitor in my presence. Venus Hybris... I have no idea what those things are. It was given to philosophical ideologies practiced by Agents of Golden Throne. They have nothing to do with the current situation. Actions are being driven by this philosophy in Terragate Van Kellogg's. Mine, yours, and Lord Inquisitor. What have you been talking about? The fact that Alxar is a dangerous radical. No less dangerous than I am, except I am not driven by utopian ideals, but by a desire to protect humanity using a broader range of tools. What you call a broader range of tools is heresy, Emelina. Unremarkable, commonplace heresy. Heresy has taken on a twisted form and a mind subjected to prolonged contact with corruption. The Academy has been gnawing you from within. Creating a star with a Chaos ritual? You've crossed the line. No, you've obliterated the line. The lines are for the weak and ignorant. Anyone capable of weighing the risk of making a calculated decision would have done the same as me. Threatening Kira's domain, deliver a preemptive strike, even Von Valencia's. You are a simple mortal endowed with huge power and privilege, ruling over worlds and holding millions of lives of power in your hand. Tell me, you would have done the same in my position? would not have made the same mistake. Get efficient. Never mind. I want to trade in the hands of such a strange person. Dangerous prospect indeed. They didn't want to answer my call, and you turned out to be a brainwashed pawn. I did not factor in the possibility of psychological dependence. Calcazar could be persuasive, especially to those who depend on them. A favorite sorcerer or cast spell can relegate. Oh yes, interrogate Van Cal. So if a Calcazar stubborn soldier would die just like a turnip king. Emmelina von Luckenhut. Kia? What do you know about Time Kia? You don't even know what fate befell her, do you? I suppose it won't hurt for you to know something of it. A strange sound causes the sage to fall silent. She turns toward the tunnel. Oh, joy. So on the outside, we've got murder Xenos. Oh, guess we got them on the inside too now. Please stay here. The ritual must be completed. The preparation must go. Just shut up and sit down.
Your kind has no right to exist.
Suffer not the heretic to do whatever the hell she was about to do. Let's see, Irilat. If I set her up here, she can easily get one single turn. Like.
I won't stand for it. Who if not me? On it. I'll make it happen.
How is them?
It's as good as done.
And Irilat, if you would be so kind. Comfortable.
If I must. I understand your intent. You cannot force me along talk. If it serves your cause, no weakness is hidden from my sight.
Weapon at the ready.
Dude, what are you doing getting closer? To the thing with the... Oh, you got a shotgun now, yeah, that makes sense. You got a shotgun for it. I just assume they're always using las rifles. I'll be a good las rifle.
This tedium is beneath me.
One, Two,
If I must. If it serves your cause.
Okay. Let's get a bath. Iron arm.
But of course, Lord Captain. I won't object to it. Let's see to it. The Inquisition sends their regards. For the throne's glory. High momentum.
Cassia, Medal of Cassia.
Me?
Put suicide behind it. Or not.
Your enemies.
Maybe like an extra ton of luck or something. That's annoying.
In the name of House Orsenia,
Whatever.
I shall prevail.
I won't object to it.
Drop down here. Charge. Flash. Your intent on, why not? Mandrake's there.
Do not dare ask. That is foolishness.
What do you mean you can't? Oh, whatever. Pascal, can you shoot? You can, that's good.
My vow is to serve.
Pray.
The scriptural process is
Miss.
favorable.
Fire and I miss.
Beyond
I
the
fire again. And this time, that's good.
hands fall. Cogitation fails.
Fire again, I miss again, and I fire again, and I miss again. This guy's gun is not particularly accurate.
Become prey. Wolves reign.
Yeah.
Carve runes out of your bones. Our foes
We're here and turn the lights on.
A mere pain won't stop me.
And then the lights flicker out again. And there are more mandrakes. Typical.
On it.
Sorry, Relax. I'm gonna have to ask you to move.
I'll see to it personally.
Fire.
Weakness is hidden from my sight. I understand your intent. I deal death with my hands.
Bang.
It's as good as done.
Not Pascal, because why not?
I must not falter.
Back. The last gun. And oh, would you look at that? It's Irelex's turn again. Isn't that funny?
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. This tedium is beneath.
Bang. Takes a quick little cheeky slash before he dies.
If it serves your cause, another soul slips beyond the veil.
Got one of the poor sods right behind them. And on the lamp. Assume this is what I want to do.
I'll put my
Well,
psychic abilities to use.
Pyrex, you don't need to use your psychic abilities for diddly squat, you just need to turn the lights on.
Naturally. Get me a target.
Bit of a waste. He's not do anything about it. Oh, fire lamp on. There we go. Wasted all my work, all my preparation for nothing. Emelina, I own a election heart. In the name of the Inquisition, you are hereby removed from your post and expelled from the Holy Order. Eric's eyes are fixed on Emelina, but she does not look at him. Then the interrogator turns his gaze on you. The fate of its fallen members is a matter for the Order. Heretical archives, artifacts obtained in the excavation, and other assets in Lichtenheart's possession, I hereby declare the property of the Holy Inquisition. However, it is for the Rogue Trader to decide what becomes of Tom Ford and his people. What's your verdict? I shall take the survivors of the planet. Lena.
You hereby strip to your special status as an agent of the Golden Throne and all attendant rights and privileges. I'm authorized to use all interrogation measures stipulated in the standard framework for information extraction to ascertain the fate of Acolyte Tanakia Albuquerque. Will that be necessary, Melina? No, interrogator von Kellogg's. I have no interrogator. I have no intention of concealing information from my mom son and Tanakia Calbarish. Eliminating the orders of Savior Calcazar to be deemed a volatile element. Lying. So on the Calcazar's documents when I went to receive my new orders, only a fleeting glimpse, but within my memory like a picture recorder was the effort's contents being printed on my mind. I do not. The document itself was an interrogation track. The final annotation indicating the removal of the person will both know how someone leaves the Lord Inquisitor's retinue into dialogues. Anarchy is the Lord Inquisitor's top espionage specialist. But if Xavier chose to refrain from making a public show of strength, Calpacino was invaluable. Why would he do this? I don't know, interrogator von Kellogg's. Just I do not know why the Lord Inquisitor sent me to this nondescript planet since I had voiced my concerns about his methods. Just I do not know if I should blame the war for the lack of responses to my calls to help with Calcas episode. Answering. The nature of her mission of Xavier's true purpose here in the Expanse was likely why he chose to bury his secret and Tanakia along with it. Operation data indicates you were directing his primary torture parish to this interrogator von Kellogg. All this time I thought you were the one who could conduct Tanakia's interrogation. One of the reasons why I destroyed my personal data block was to ensure that my own sentiments not prevent me from thinking irrationally when I accidentally had you or Calcas as I said. Heinrichs? Melina? Listenhard. I know interrogator von Kellogg's. I know all the procedures used on compromised sages, interrogation and sealing for reminiscence blocks. Before we begin, she stands up, straightening her spine as much as she can, and looks at the interrogator's eyes with a weak smile. I thought Tanaki was your doing, but as your reactions reveal the truth to me. Heinrichs. Yes, Heinrichs, yes? No. Sorry to forget. Heinrichs stares at the stage, saying nothing, then looks down and mutters something too quietly for you to hear. A heretical blam. It's been too long since I've seen one of those. English is a hard language. True. Although, I will be honest, saying that feels a little bit disingenuous because I've been trying to learn a new language recently and really makes me appreciate just how messy but functional the English language is. You know? Like, it feels a whole lot easier to just string sounds together in English and make communication happen through that. Oh well. All languages are difficult, we should just communicate psionically, it's easier. Thank you for your assistance in solving my problem, Ruth. Are you trying to learn? I'm disappointed that you don't know my character well enough to take a random guess. It's Japanese. I'm trying to learn Japanese. And I'm not doing very well. I've never been particularly talented in the art of communication, but learning an entirely new language by myself with no teacher nor peer to practice with has been an experience, to say the least. It's a headache. It's hard. Japanese is supposedly a hard language, but I feel like I put the hard parts out of the way. Kind of. Well, kind of. I don't know particles. I don't understand particles in the slightest. I get formality. That kind of thing just kind of comes intuitively after a moment, but like, particles just kind of hurt. A lot. A lot. You know, all your nose and toes and knees and woes and hairs and was and it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Knees and toes. Yeah. Also, it's just mostly vocabulary is what I'm struggling with, to be honest. Although I've also picked the snacks
somewhere else. I only speak dull. That is a good language. Speaking dull is good. You're Japanese. Oh, you're killing me here. You're killing me here. Yeah. No, it's a very interesting language. I've been playing this. I've been learning it mainly through this video game, which called Wagotabi, I think it's called. I always get it wrong. Wagotabi. It's a cheap game. It costs like not much, not a lot. It's a cheap game, but it's an amazing learning resource. They just like give you so many lessons that are fairly easy to follow and teach you Japanese at a fairly good pace. I'm just not the best. I'm just not the best at learning languages. So the pace I'm working with is I will spend usually 10 minutes a day revising, and then I'll get headache and stop, because if I continue any further I'll probably just have a breakdown and start crying, which actually happened today. Actually, they decided I tried to learn myself once many moons ago in college. Oh yeah, no, you definitely need like a dedicated resource. You can't just do it on your own. Man, when I tried to use Duolingo in like college to using an actually good language learning thing, is very different. It's so much better. Play Wagotabi, it'll change your life. Yeah, the recent lesson block in Wagotabi where I'm at, was like weather, talking about the weather, and they had this one section where you kind of, where there was you have to talk about, you have to listen to two people talking about the weather, and my god, I was literally screaming at my desk. I was suffering so much. Listening comprehension is not something I'm good at in English. Putting in another language entirely, oh my god. I found Yahoo more useful than Duolingo. Yeah, no, flashcards are always like the recommended way to learn languages. I've heard. I was given a bunch of like flashcard options, or I got a flashcard app on my tablet, but I never used up any of them because Wagotabi just like has a flashcard system in it. It's so good. Yeah, I will keep glazing this game. It is amazing. It is how you learn Japanese, I'll be honest. Like, drop a tenner on it and play it 20 minutes a day. You will speak it to at least a child's level by the end of the year, I'm pretty sure. I've been playing it for like 2 months, 3 months, and I definitely understand a lot more Japanese than before. Not that I understand Japanese. So don't ask me to speak it, because you will find I spend more time thinking about how to say it than I actually spend saying it. Like, does it go here? What particle do I use? What particle do I use? What is the difference between any? Well, that sounds way better than watching my Japanese anime. I'm gonna throw something at you in a minute. Yeah, I probably should use like anime as another point of research as well. You may need to watch the Gundam ZZ, and that's only in Japanese. There's no dub for it, so that could be another way I do it. But then I've also been told you gotta start with something a little easier. What was it that my friend recommended to me? Doraemon. They said I should watch Doraemon in order to learn Japanese better, and I was like, you know, I kind of want to, Even if it's like objectively a child show, I speak it worse than a Japanese child, so why not? It learning can improve. Hopefully. I can only hope. I don't know. It's a long and slow process. This time next year, I would certainly like to be able to speak it to, like, let's make a really ambitious target and say N5 level, the most basic level. Don't think I'd be able to, but, you know. That would be nice. It'd be nice. The biggest problem also is that, why would I be learning it? What's the point? Because most everything I read is already translated, or, you know, thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu. Yeah. Most things I want to do either have a translation in the form of like a manga or anime, or most of the people I speak to aren't Japanese. I know like one person who speaks Japanese, and honestly I don't want to talk to them. So, like, that's where I'm at right now. I know, there will inevitably be a day where I pull up on a stream with some game that has like Japanese in it, and I start speaking Japanese or translating the Japanese in front of you and be like, wow, so cool. They're like a massive weeb. Oh. And I'll be like, oh, calm down. And we get about untranslated stuff, to be honest. True. The issue is that there's just not a lot of untranslated stuff, you know? Like, most of the things I find out about are through groups who have read them translated or something. Like, most stuff gets translated within 24 hours its release. You're a weeb? I want to learn Japanese! What was it just I'm not? I'm a massive weeb. I've played Japanese games on stream. I've played Fire Emblem Three Houses on stream. You were there, I'm pretty sure. You're hurting me. You're killing me here. Ay. I really need to do is decide on a video game. I'd like. Oh yeah, actually that's a good point. What I really think would benefit me learning Japanese would be playing Pokemon games in Japanese, but I can't actually think of a Pokemon title to play. Like, obviously we've got like because I've recently played Fire Red. I've got Oras. I've played pretty much every single mainline Pokemon point. It needs to be like an older one. I don't want to like go through all the effort. OG Red and Blue, baby. True. I've actually been meaning to dust off my old Pokemon Red and Blue cartridges and play through them. Would be nice. Check out the Game Boy Colors in one of the boxes. Hasn't moved in the past decade. Honestly, I've kind of wanted to like let my mother. This is kind of mean, but I kind of want to let my mother play one of them and myself play one of them, and then we have a Pokemon battle over link cable. And like, the problem is that I will immediately beeline for like Tauros. Oh god, I need a guy playing it. Very design sprites. Oh yeah, man. Those old sprites were weird, messed up. First iteration weren't great, second iteration weren't great. And then Pokemon Yellow comes around and makes it look really good, and it's like, why couldn't you have just done that the first time? Why did they look like that? 1v1 me in Pokemon Champions, Kappa. Yeah, right, sure. Pokemon Champions, the game that definitely works. Have you heard of like the Pokemon Showdown HD project? That's something that's interesting. Like Pokemon Showdown, but like 3D? Sounds awesome. I want to do it. But well, that's a ways off whilst they're working on it. find particularly good. I tend to find like I'm really good at beating up people who don't know anything about Pokemon. But when it's actually someone who knows about Pokemon, for some reason I completely fold. It's really embarrassing. I want to get better, but I just can't. Also, doesn't Pokemon Champions have fewer Pokemon in Generation 2? I don't even want to face you in Pokemon unless you set up 100 plus handicaps. What, you think I'm that bad? It's me. Yeah, no, that's fair. Usually when I play with, like, my friends who don't know anything about Pokemon, what I would do is I would play a usage tier below them. So they'll play OU, I'll play UU, or something like that. Not that I necessarily know anything about team comp, so mostly I just throw out all the really good UU Pokemon. The flexible UU Pokemon, who are usually taking OU teams. I know, could be nice. Could be nice. I wanted Pokemon Champions to be good, and it's not turned out good, apparently. So we'll wait for a year until it's on tablets, and then see if it's any good at the time. Anyway, what about this game I'm supposed to be streaming instead of talking about Pokemon? It's so easy to get trapped into talking about Pokemon because I just love that franchise. Love Pokemon so much. Even if I still haven't beaten Pokemon Paris. Need to get around to that. Find a sync file. Anyway, Heinrich's turns to you. Thank you for your assistance in solving my problem, Rogue Trader. You kind of reached 30 FPS on the Switch 2. The Switch 2? Are you serious? Doesn't the Switch have like twice the computing power to Switch 1? How badly optimized does it have to be? Remember that the Switch 1 could run like Breath of the Wild? Remember the Wii U could run Breath of the Wild? If you're telling me that an arena-based Pokemon game that doesn't even look as good as Pokemon Colosseum can't run on 30 FPS on the Switch 2. What are they doing? Are they mining Bitcoin on those things? Running bloody crypto on my Switches? Anyway, I need help in assisting my problem, Rogue Trader. I don't want to be mean to the person Heinrich's likes, but also that was a heretic. Who less than me. Words of true citizen in the Imperium. We are finished here. The plan will be designated unfit for further use. The risk is simply too great. It'll take a few hours to deal with the excavation inside and what the diggers found there, but it will not delay us. When we return to the ship, find a minute to speak with me. That was kind of mean, I'm sorry. Now let's get out of here, because this place sucks and I don't like it. Oh, it's just... a regular sword. Regular shotgun. Regular lasgun. Just dump it all. What do I need a bunch of sharpened venom blades for?
I always keep my options open.
Oh, let's find him right in front of us.
Lord Captain, I thank you for your assistance with my mission. Thanks to Rogue Trader von Valancius, the Inquisition has stopped the enemies of humanity. even those hiding in its own ranks on this occasion. I will no longer be making any claim on your time or resources.
Everything Emilina said about Calcazar, are you concerned about it?
It is dangerous information, but you are already too deeply involved. In the Inquisition, there are two main philosophies: Puritanism and radicalism. The adherents of the former are conservatives who strive to follow the letter of inquisitorial doctrine in all matters. The radicals are more pragmatic. They believe that the end often justifies the means, and they use tools that a Puritan would condemn as heretical. Emilina used the powers of chaos to gain the upper hand against Xenos. I touched a cogitator built by cultists to learn its secrets. None of us is pure. Xavier. The Craven-hearted say that the career of every Inquisitor ends in either death or heresy. The Lord Inquisitor has borne this burden longer than any of us. It would be naive to think that he had only ever used Puritan methods, and even more naive to suggest that such methods have in any way weakened his loyalty to the God Emperor. And that is all I will say on the subject.
Yes, and what are you going to do now this time?
I will remain part of your retinue. That will not change. I will continue to accompany you until I receive orders to the contrary from the Lord Inquisitor, if ever. Who knows? Perhaps one day my journey will end like Emilina's, but that day is not today.
Aww. You're doing alright, Heinrichs. I think you're doing alright. Let's quickly level up and run up, and then I will end the stream. Listen. Oh. Mind rupture. Sure, why not? And you can have more logic. Why is your logic so high? Wow. Oh, I guess because she's intelligent. So, Magenta gets controlled shot is nice. Might as well give you some more points in demolition. Nothing wrong with sun bombs. Today, I don't care. Take their rank. He's not going to be better at commerce than me, so let's just give him more points than or Imperium. And Marazai. One enemy is good. More points in athletics. 100 more. Very good, very good. Well, we've made an awful lot of progress today, solving not one but two personal requests. Woo! And we solved whatever the hell was going on with that planet. Today, I shall wrap up. What? What? What was that? Let's wrap up for today, my god. Clearly I need a drink or something. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see ya when I